Look at that sky. It is a freaking lovely spring day. I have today off. See if we can spot a bird. No. But we got a squirrel in the feeder. Got anything you want to say, mister? What are you doing eating all the bird's seed? What the heck, man? He doesn't even give a shit. I'm sitting here watching him. Alright, I gotta get video games. See you later. He really doesn't care. Yeah, he just keeps eating my seed, and I keep feeding him, or her, actually. One of them's pregnant, so there's going to be a lot of squirrels pretty soon. But anyways, gotta get going. Got quite a drive ahead of us, but man, what a beautiful day to do it on. Okay, so I'm a couple minutes late, but that's just par for the course for me. That's usually how it is. You guys will see, like, anytime I get into, like, go for an airplane or something, usually later than I want to be, and yeah, so let's go. I'm excited. It's been since March of 2020 since I've been to Seattle, so I can't wait to see what's there. I'm thinking maybe a lot of games have probably been picked through because of COVID, so hopefully we'll find some cool stuff today.
Kirby. He's cute. Till you cross him, then he's one tough cream puff. Kirby's Adventure on NES.
Alright, Pink Gorilla Games, one of my favorite places to go when I'm in Seattle. So I always go in and I always kind of check out the Game Boy games first. I'm mostly focusing on Game Boy, Nintendo, Super Nintendo right now. I have a little Game Boy Advance that I want to modify if I can't get a hold of one of the analog pockets that's coming out sooner or later, one of these days. If I can't get my hands on one of those, then I was thinking about modifying a Game Boy Advance into like an aluminum shell with a nice IPS screen. But here you can see some of the imports as we kind of peruse the store a little bit. And I didn't know King of Fighters 96 had a Game Boy port in Japan. That's pretty strange to me. Some Pocket Monsters down there, which is Pokemon in the East. And let's see what we got here. Capcom Classics. I believe I had that at one point. Actually, I had a pretty good collection of Lynx games, believe it or not. I don't see too many Lynx games, but somebody must have just come in recently with their small collection. And there's an N-Gage game. Can't say I would ever want to collect that, but hey. And here's some of the boxed Lynx games, and some of them are in good shape, and that boxed copy of Ninja Gaiden 3 for the Lynx is actually cheaper than I think a boxed copy for the NES is, which is kind of crazy. It just seems like nobody's collecting for it. That game Hydra is stupid fun. I've played that before. It's really cool. And then there's some sealed ones back there, which is just crazy. Alright, so this is their money case. So you can see some Dragon Warrior 2 there. Shadow of the Ninja. This one hurts because I actually had this card as a kid and I don't know where it went, and I had it complete in box, so it's well over $600 at this point if I still had it. Some specialty controllers. Nothing I'm like too interested in here. I think this is cards of some type. A couple of sealed games, a lot of Ys games. One of my friends is playing a lot of Ys right now. Spirit Tracks is surprisingly expensive. I would not expect that. We have some Turbo Graphics down here. Love Ninja Spirit. Game is freaking awesome. See, I'm really focusing on it. I just love that game so much. But I was actually surprised this time out how many Turbo Graphics Hue cards and games I was able to find out in the wild. Before, it seemed to have been really hard in the past, but now it's like seems relatively easier. Some Saturn games back there. Some handhelds. There's a Game Gear. DS Lite. Seems like their handhelds were pretty light this time. Not really big into collecting on the game box, but I thought I'd show the money case anyways. Panzer Dragoon 2 for the Saturn. Some SG games. Freedom Finger. Such a silly name for a game. I guess it's going for quite a bit though. And then I thought that Super Metroid guidebook was really cool. So I'm looking for a lot of NES and Super Nintendo this time around. Wasn't 100% sure what I would pick up first. I know like my go-tos whenever I'm building up these collections is always like Castlevania, Mario, Zelda, right? So buying out a Commando for $10 and it was in pretty good shape, so I was pretty impressed with that. So one of the things I like about the store is the layout of how they have the tags like Super Potato in Japan, so you can see like all the game art and everything. For somebody like me that has dyslexia, and if you put all the games like on a shelf with the labels facing out, something about that gets scrambled in my brain, and it's not as easy as seeing the front covers on the cart, so I really appreciate this. On top of that, like all their games are always super clean, and they always test them, make sure they're working. For the value of a lot of games, they're usually a couple bucks over what you find like on price charting. But in the cases of something like really super rare, like that Castlevania Dracula X was about $50 over. You don't see too many of those out in the wild. But quite a few of my favorites in here. I actually like Pinball a lot on the NES. A lot of people don't know, but Iwata actually worked on that game. Rolling Thunder. This hurts because I see this in the video now and I completely skipped over that. I would have picked that up like no problem. I love Rolling Thunder. I almost got Road Blasters. And it's like $18 for Super C, relatively clean. That's not too bad. You're always going to pay a little bit more in a store, but I think it, in my opinion, like this store always, these Pink Gorilla stores, I always like them a lot because, like I said, they always check through everything. A lot of places I go to, especially like outside Seattle area, where it's like smaller, like mom and pop shops. Like this is a mom and pop shop, but you know what I mean, like a much smaller one. Seems like they just kind of take the carts and just throw them on the shelf as soon as they come in. They're still dusty, there's still crud on them. So these are the Famicom carts, and I got one here. I would like to get more Famicom carts, but I'm just not that familiar with the collection. I saw Karateka there. But I mean, I just love their carts over in Japan compared to what we got, especially like the artwork on the carts. Just, I mean, like look at that stuff. So colorful. I like the different variants that they had. And now we're on to Super Nintendo. I definitely got a couple here. I wonder if you guys can guess which it is. The other thing I like is that they usually put, if the games have battery saves, they usually put new batteries in. And I actually took Super Mario World that I had to get a new battery put in. One game I can say I'm seeing here that I regret that I didn't pick up was Baseball Stars 2020. It was on the bottom there. I've never played it before, but I played it the other night and I thought that was like super fun. Taking a picture of a game that a friend wanted to let him know that it was there. Yeah, that Baseball 2020, that's actually a really good game. I really liked it. If you're into like baseball sports games. Sorry for the fast panning. It was, the stores had a lot of restrictions. There's only so many people allowed in. I don't want to like clog up the store because I think they had like a limit of 10 people per store or something like that. Or at least in this store. And so I wanted to respect everybody's time, and I wanted to make my time as short as possible. But they did let me record, which they always do. That's what I love about these guys. Moving on to the Famicom games here. And but I wanted to be respectful, so I kind of like went through the games really quick. Final Fantasy. I thought about it, then I was like, oh yeah, I can't read Japanese that well. I almost picked up Street Fighter 2 just because I love the way that the cover art on Street Fighter 2 for the Japanese looks, the Japanese version. It's got like Ryu all shadowed out and stuff. It's really cool looking. But there's definitely some games in Japanese variants I wouldn't mind getting. So Al's Music and Games, we are here checking out Game Boy games and other different things. Yeah, so let's take a walk through, see what we have. See some Top Gun tracks. It's like really honestly like same thing. Seems like it's been hard to find decent Game Boy games in the last couple. TurboGrafx for $200 with Keith Courage, $189. $89 for GameCube. Those seem like those have gotten expensive over a period of time. $74 for NES. It's alright, I guess. Just sitting there like that. I think that's a bit much for a Wii. I know this one's $10 more, so I'm guessing one has the GameCube ports, the other doesn't. Aliens vs. Predator. I don't think I've ever played that on Game Boy. Mortal Kombat. I lost that when I was in school, and I was so sad when it went away. And really, honestly, I shouldn't have been. It's a really bad port of Mortal Kombat. Double Dragon, that'd be pretty cool. Didn't pick up any Game Boy games on this day, though. And, you know, I never really had a Game Boy Color. So I can't say, like, what's really good, what's really bad, or anything like that. You know, I kind of have an idea, but I kind of skipped that generation. Alright, so this is their money box. Or money case, I should say. There's a few good ones in there. Got some games in the back there. A couple interesting looking ones. Can't ever say I've played Q*bert 3 on SNES. Not a bad price on Joe and Mac, to be honest. Usually it goes for a little bit more. Mega Man 3 back there. I just now noticed that looking through this. Bionic Commando. Clue Land. They have a lot of NES games in this store, more than Pink Gorilla does. So if you're having a really hard time finding a certain game, you might want to go to Al's Music in Seattle. It's right up the road from Pink Gorilla, and you might have luck here. Pricing's kind of dependent, I guess, mostly based off of a little bit of price charting, but maybe what they see come through the door and how often. Some prices I thought were a little high, some were like good, some were actually lower. So it's kind of a mishmash here. It's just knowing that price charting guide, I would suggest like before going to a lot of these places, like go to price charting, see what the price is on the games you want, write down what the games you want into like a little note or something on your phone.
So when you go to these stores, you can just kind of reference it really quick. Mega Man X5 was a good game. Castlevania Curse of Darkness. I remember playing that. Some Sega Saturn games, Sega CD, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Deus Ex still in the big PC box back there. Some Famicom and Japanese imports. They don't have anywhere near as many as Pink Gorilla does. We have some 32X games. Some Sega Genesis, some in box. Nice little Game & Watch there. I like the little umbrella on top of the arcade game there. I was wondering if that was like actually that way when it came, but I don't think so. I thought I'd take a look at some NES stuff. Or NES, I should say Atari. I know some of you guys like Atari games out there. Seems like it's relatively easy to track down Atari games now. So if you're looking for any, or you want to collect for Atari, by all means, it seems very, very simple. I'm running into a lot of box copies. I just went into the store the other day and they had brand new copies of games for the original Atari. Like, not expensive either, like $10 each. It's kind of crazy. Here's some more cue cards for the TurboGrafx. Final Lap Twin down there. Victory Run. Some of them still have the cases. Old Atari Jr. Pac-Man 2 seems interesting. I've never seen that. And then there's a Lynx. And then off to the side, they have another case that's completely stacked full of NES games. And I just thought I'd just kind of leave it here and just scroll through it. Like, you know, if you guys can see it, maybe pause the video, see what you can see on there. But they have a lot of NES games. So I'm just gonna let the music play in the background. You guys just kind of enjoy, and we'll get right back into it.
Just missed it by that much. Well, just got out of last place and just missed the ferry. Just sitting, first few cars are going to be on right away, so it should be towards the front, which should be pretty cool. But, yeah, it looks like... Oh, drug dog. It looks like, I got some good finds today. Pretty happy with that. Couldn't trade in a Nintendo because I didn't take it with me because I couldn't find one of the pieces I needed to stick in a box. Apparently I took it out at some point and was using it on probably the Super Nintendo or something like that, but we'll see. But for right now, just sitting here enjoying the sun. But I got some good finds today. It was a good day off. So let's see. At Pink Gorilla, I found quite a few, and I love that they put these in these little baggies, and they clean these things up really, really well. Like, I never feel like I have to clean the pins out when I come from there or something like that. But, Bionic Commando for $10. Star Tropics for $10. This one's for me, but I really like this. Pinball. This was $5, I believe. Yeah. And another guilty pleasure, Kung Fu for $10. And then this one's Famicom, but the price you would pay on NES is going to be way more than you would pay for the Japanese. And I think, from what I remember, this is all in English anyways. But Kirby for $20 for the Famicom. And I like the color of the cart. The cart looks very, very cool. Then Pilot Wings for $10 on SNES. And Guilty Pleasure, Stunt Race FX for $9. Oh, and last one, I was surprised to see this there in this good condition and with a new battery. And for this price, this is Donkey Kong Country for $20. I was actually really shocked, and it's in really good condition. Then I went over to Owl's Music and video games, and they also sell like movies and stuff. If you're looking for vinyl as well, there's tons of vinyl there. But a little bit more expensive stuff there, but I could actually find it there, and it's stuff I wanted. So first of all, Star Fox. This was $20. That's about the going rate, so I didn't really... A couple of them were a little high, and a couple of them I splurged on. Mario Kart, $30. That's pretty much the eBay going price. You might be able to find it for cheaper than that. Link to the Past. This is the player's choice, so this is the later carts. But $35. Very much what this goes for. Got original Metroid label for $19. This is the one I splurged on. This is TMNT Manhattan Project with the manual for $50. I've seen this easily in this shape go for way more than that at like conventions and stuff, and also eBay prices. Although this is pretty much what it's worth. Seems like you can't find these too often, so I went ahead and jumped on it. And I went to another Castle Games. They had a lot of COVID restrictions. You know, you could only like sit there and actually be in the store for like 20 minutes at a time. So there wasn't enough time to really shoot the inside or anything like that. And the area where they had like the Super Nintendo and Nintendo games happened to be where everybody was checking out at, so I had to like wait in line just to see the games. There really wasn't much there, and I think I paid a little bit more than what I should have for this on average price. But the condition of it is stupid good. So I paid almost $40 for Legend of Zelda on NES, and the reason being is like look at the condition that this is in. Like, you don't find these too often. It's not like anything rare. It's a 3-screw, but usually the gold on these is like all kinds of screwed up. So I'm really happy about that. So that's the haul. Hopefully the ferry gets here soon and I can get home so we can. Well, I can play some of these. I'd like to stream tonight, but I'm not going to count on that, depending on how late this thing is, or how late I get home.